Ezekiel chapter 45 and verse 16. All the people of the land must give this contribution to the prince in Israel. It will be the prince's role to give the burnt offerings, grain offerings, and drink offerings at the feasts, new moons, and Shabbatot, and all the Moedim of the house of Israel. He will prepare the sin offering, the meal offering, the burnt offering, and the fellowship offerings to make atonement for the house of Israel. Thus says Adonai Elohim, in the first month, in the first day of the month, take a young bull without blemish and purify the sanctuary. The Kohen will take some of the blood of the sin offering and put it on the doorposts of the house, and upon the four corners of the ledge of the altar, and upon the posts of the gate of the inner court. So you will do on the seventh day of the month for everyone who sins unintentionally or through ignorance. So you will make atonement for the house. In the first month, on the 14th day of the month, you will have the Passover, a feast of 7 days when matzah will be eaten. On that day, the prince will prepare a bull as a sin offering for himself and for all the people of the land. He will prepare a burnt offering to Adonai for the 7 days of the feast. 7 bulls and 7 rams without blemish daily for 7 days, and a male goat offering for a sin offering. He will prepare as a grain offering an ephah for a bull, an ephah for a ram, and a hin of oil for each ephah. He will do this on the 7th month, on the 15th day of the month, during the feast, for 7 days, for sin offering as well as burnt offering, grain offering as well as oil. Chapter 46. Thus says Adonai Elohim, the gate of the inner court that faces the east will be shut for the 6 working days. On Yom Shabbat it will be opened, and in the day of the new moon it will be opened. The prince will enter by the way of the porch of the gate from outside, and stand by the post of the gate. Then the Kohanim will prepare his burnt offering and his fellowship offerings. He will worship at the threshold of the gate, then go out. The gate will not be shut until evening. The people of the land will worship at the door of the gate, before Adonai on Shabbatot and new moons. The burnt offering that the prince offers to Adonai on Yom Shabbat will be 6 lambs without blemish, and a ram without blemish. The grain offering will be an ephah for the ram. The grain offering for the lambs will be a gift of his hand, and a hin of oil for an ephah. On the day of the new moon it will be a young bull without blemish, 6 rams and a lamb. They must be without blemish. He will prepare a grain offering, an ephah for the bull and an ephah for the ram. For the lambs, whatever his hand may reach, and a hin of oil for an ephah. When the prince enters, he will enter by the way of the porch of the gate, and he will also exit by that way. When the people of the land come before Adonai at the Moedim, whoever enters by way of the north gate to worship will exit by way of the south gate. Whoever enters by the way of the south gate must exit by way of north gate. He should not return by the way of the gate where he came in, since he must exit straight ahead. When they enter, the prince will come in among them. When they go out, they will go out together. At the feasts and the Moedim, the grain offering will be an ephah for a bull and an ephah for a ram. And for the lambs, a gift of his hand and a hin of oil for an ephah. Now if the prince prepares a freewill offering, burnt offering, or fellowship offerings as a freewill offering to Adonai, the gate for him facing east must be open for him. Then he will prepare his burnt offering and his fellowship offerings as he does on Yom Shabbat. Then he will go out. After he exits, the gate should be shut. You are to prepare a lamb of the first year without blemish for a burnt offering to Adonai daily. Morning by morning you are to prepare it. Also you will prepare a grain offering with it morning by morning, 1/6 of an ephah and 1/3 of a hin of oil, to moisten the fine flour, a grain offering to Adonai continually. It is perpetual statute. They will prepare the lamb, the grain offering, and the oil, morning by morning, for a continual burnt offering. Thus says Adonai Elohim, If the prince gives a gift to any of his sons as his inheritance, it will belong to his sons. It will be their possession by inheritance. But if he gives of his inheritance as a gift to one of his servants, it will be his until the year of liberty, when it will revert to the prince. His inheritance will belong to his sons. The prince must not take from the people's inheritance, evicting them wrongfully out of their property. He must give inheritance to his sons out of his own property, so that my people will not be displaced, anyone from his own property.